Today I'm going to show you how to use Velcro rollers to add volume, especially to mature hair. If your hair is finer, it goes flatter, it doesn't hold as much volume as it used to, this simple technique is going to just add more volume to your hair, and it's really very simple and easy to do. As we age, our hair naturally becomes finer and drier, especially around the crown area up here and around the hairline. The good news is that volume is still possible using this technique. So Velcro rollers are gentle, they're low heat, and they add volume exactly where you need it. And it's great if you want to add volume to places where you don't want to really tease a lot or use a lot of product. So step one is proper prep. So you're going to need to add some type of product to your hair. And typically what I recommend people to do is to use a product that best suits your hair description. So if your hair is fine, it doesn't hold any volume whatsoever, you're going to want to go in and use like a root lifter. This one here from Paul Mitchell is the Extra Body Boost. This is great, and it just really goes right at the root area. So if your hair is fine, it's not going to weigh down your hair at all. If your hair is fine, but you have a lot of it, it doesn't have any body to it, go in there and use a mousse. Whatever mousse that you have. This one here from Paul Mitchell, this Extra Body Mousse, and this combo together work great if your hair is fine and you have a bit of it and it doesn't hold any curl. If your hair is thick and fine and you need to blow it out and it takes forever to blow out, this Living Proof, this blowout pump here, this spray goes in there. It actually cuts the drying time in half, and it does add a little bit of volume to the hair. If your hair is like mine, I have very fine hair that's frizzy, I use the Living Proof smooth styling cream on it, okay? And then I'll go in and I'll use an oil to finish up at the end, and that just kind of tames any of the flyaways right at the end. And then to just kind of give it a light spray, I'll use this Super Clean from Paul Mitchell. I love this. This hairspray has really good memory to it, and it just feels very nice and clean on the hair. Obviously, you're going to need a blow dryer and a round brush, and just use a round brush, anyone that suits your hair. Like if your hair doesn't have any frizz in it and you just need to add the volume to it, just blast blow it really quickly and then go over it at the end with your brush and just kind of smooth away any ends, because you're going to go in there and you want to leave the hair at 90% dry. You want to leave it a little bit slightly damp, because the Velcro rollers will just hold on to that curl a lot better. And obviously you're going to need some Velcro rollers. The biggest mistake I see people making is going in there with small of a roller. The smallest I would go would be like this here. I would just use this around the hairline where your pieces are maybe shorter, but really you want to like kind of alternate between these two sizes. Okay, these Velcro rollers actually have like metal wrapped around them, so they go in there and they actually grab the heat a little bit, and they'll just add a little bit more curl to the hair. So if your hair is heavy and the Velcro rollers won't stay in there, you're going to need some clips to clip that roller in, or a bobby pin, whatever you might have. I have these duck clips that are this big. These seem to work great. They're not too heavy and they don't put any creases on the hair. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to blow my hair out and I'm going to be back and I'm going to show you exactly how to put those rollers in. So right now my hair is about 90% dry and it's still warm, which is key when you're putting these rollers in, because we really want the heat, and we want a little bit of the hair, moisture in the hair to kind of grab that curl. I forgot to mention one other tool that you'll need, and it's one of these like a tail comb that looks like so. This will just help you with sectioning off different pieces. I'm going to start with the back first. I'm going to try to do a really good job. I can't see obviously back there when I'm doing this, and I don't have anybody to help me film. I am going to take this size roller, okay, because we're just looking to add volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to section the hair slightly smaller than this roller, okay, the circumference of this roller. I'm going to take a section straight down the middle in the back, and I'm going to turn around, but it's just so that you can see this, so just kind of follow along. Okay, so I'm going to take this straight down, pull this piece out of the way, come over here, pull this piece straight down. Then I'm going to take the tail, and I'm going to reach right in here. Okay, and I'm gonna lift that hair. I'm lifting that hair straight up. What you don't want to do is take the hair and lean it backwards like this. You want it to fall flush up against your scalp, not like pulled back, not pulled forward, but like flush coming down on it. That's where you're gonna get the volume. And if you don't do that part right, your set's not gonna come out the way that you want. Okay, so let's see the size of it. Okay, so that's about the size of the roller. And then what we're gonna do, I'm adjusting the camera so that you guys can see everything. And you're gonna take the roller and start at the ends first. Make sure these ends are clean up against that roller, and then bring it back like so. Then you're just gonna take a clip and go in there and clip that in. Okay, so now it's not going anywhere. You can see how it's positioned here on my scalp. You have those ends wrapped around there smoothly because you don't want to get like a kink on that end and have it be all frizzy at the ends. It'll just destroy the set. Okay, so now we're gonna go down. We're gonna do one underneath that. We're gonna get these ends here, underneath here, and then roll it down flat. Okay, so you can see we have 3 going down straight down the back. So what I'm gonna do is do this other side of the hair. And what I do with that is I grab the roller and I bring that going backwards. See, maybe you can see better if I go like this. So I bring this piece here, I take it here, I wrap it around, make sure those ends are flush, and bring that back like so. And by bringing it like back this way, it's gonna help it not look so bubbly. Like we don't want it like we want volume, but we don't want it to look like we have a helmet on. I hope I'm getting this in here for you guys. And I went with a roller that's a little bit bigger at the bottom because I don't want it shrinking up. I don't want my hair to look too poofy, so because I really want to keep some of that length. Again, I just want some softness and some volume. Okay, so now we're gonna do this front section, and I'm gonna bring this straight down. I'm gonna take this piece here. I'm gonna go right across here. Again, you can see the significance of this tail comb. That really does help keep everything organized and straight. I'm taking this size roller, wrapping those ends around, and bringing it straight down. Taking a clip and going in there. Now these pieces, because my hair is layered, they're a little bit shorter, so they're gonna grab more curl than the longer part. So I don't wanna go too tight there either. I'm gonna take this bigger one. Now we have the sides, right? I have to do the other side back here. I'm gonna go and do that. Keep this from my back of my ear forward. I consider that the front part. Taking this bigger roller, okay, and I'm bringing that going back. You'll be able to figure this out once you've done this once or twice on your hair, where you want more curl, where you want less volume. You can sometimes take these ends and squeeze them together and then wrap them around. Okay, so now we have these 2 front pieces to do, and I'm gonna take this one, and I am gonna bring this going back, and I'm gonna use this size, because my hair's a little bit shorter there. And take that hair, I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here, okay, and wrap that around, take this clip up, okay, and I have that centered right in there, and then we have these 2 little shorter pieces here. I'm gonna use actually this size, and I'm gonna take these pieces and wrap them going backwards. Okay, so and then I go in after part is done, and I take a spray. I'll take this Super Clean from Paul Mitchell, and I'll go and I'll lightly spray. That'll just give it a little extra lift. And again, the reason I like the Super Clean is because it's very workable. It has good memory. It doesn't feel like you have anything on your hair when you're done. Okay, so when you're done, this is what the front will look like. This is what the side should look like, and then there's your back. So to start off, I would use a mixture of different size rollers just so you can get a feel for where you would need them, place them on your hair. And that really depends on the length of your hair and the style of your hair and layering. Great time now for you to go and do your makeup. I'm gonna be back and I'm gonna take this down for you, and you'll be able to see the end result. So I just finished doing my makeup. I actually just did a review on this OGEE stick foundation. If you're interested, I'll leave that in the description box below. And my hair set for like maybe 15-20 minutes. You definitely want to let the hair cool completely and dry completely, because that's really what's going to give a really good foundation to the set. We're going to pull out these rollers. And when you're pulling it out, pull it out very gently. Don't rip it out, okay? Because we don't want it getting too frizzy looking or adding any fly. So you want to go out and pull it out very gently, and just take your finger like that and let it sit. So your hair's going to kind of look like that. And what I do is just take my hands and run my fingers through it, and then it'll just kind of give it a nice bounce. For this side, so I use my hands as a comb, right? I'll just use my fingers and just kind of rake through there and lift it up. But this does work well on shorter hair too. I can tell you, because I used to do it all the time when my hair was shorter, just to kind of give it that clean, volume, polished look. But here's a culprit for me. Like, my crown area always wants to get that split in it, and it wants to get like the split, and it always wants to go flat. So just some of the key things, you want to unwind the rollers very gently, and just use your fingers to kind of run through the hair. You don't want to use a brush or anything too heavy. You'll just kind of pull everything down. And less is always more. So use the right styling products for your hair, but don't overdo it with styling products, because sometimes that can just weigh the hair down and kind of be counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. So the volume should just feel very soft with lots of movement and just kind of really nice to touch, right? You don't want anything too heavy. If you did gain any value from this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It's right down here. And don't forget to download my free guide, my guide for healthy glowing skin and healthy hair.